Hello, welcome back to the BCS podcast, episode, I believe, 6, week 7. Gentlemen, how was our weekend?
Good. Very enjoyable, very relaxing. Didn't really have much of a sweat, even though I was kind of nervous going into the game. But I'm always nervous.
Speaking of sweat, you can't stop sweating. This weather is so unpredictable right now. 80 plus degrees right now in October is insane.
Yeah, this was actually the shirt I wore to the game. It's one of my favorite old Michigan shirts, a little Adidas action, favorite type of maize. It was a maize out. It was 85 degrees, and I was almost not wanting to stand up because I was sweating so hard through my shorts. No offense, sorry for the TMI and everyone, but
yeah,
I even was like, I seriously considered I was wearing a bathing suit because it was like 90 degrees.
It was an unbelievable week, and tomorrow drops to 60, which is beautiful.
Yeah, so we can quickly start with some of the games. I know a few of us were on this play. It was the over in the Western Kentucky Delaware game. Kind of a crazy game. I know it's just really off the bat. Delaware just, it's funny because, again, you squint your eyes closed and it's like fake Michigan with the uniforms. But they marched all the way down the field at the end of the game. It was crazy. I think they had the Hornets commentator on the game, which made it way more fun. I know he was kind of going viral for the NFL game he did in Charlotte the other day. Which actually that would make sense. He's kind of in the same region. But he was screaming and going crazy, made this game funny. But Delaware has a kicker that's like, I think they said he's 1 for 7 or something this year. And they settled for like a 50-yard field goal to try to tie the game. It was just terrible. But and then BYU took care of business against West Virginia. That's basically all that happened on Friday. The Bulls rolled again. They're just fun to watch, 26-54. They covered the spread in the last play. Shout out to them. We might actually get a
pretty good quarterback.
They have a very good quarterback. We might touch on their coach in a little bit. I have a theory. Saturday, let me quickly go sort the ESPN app by Big Ten so we can talk about it. Illinois, Purdue. I think Purdue was up early, but then Illinois kind of steamrolled them. A lot of points.
Yeah, I think they were up by like 10 at one point, and then they
every year for this game, we should just honestly start betting the over.
Yeah.
Well, this is 2 years in a row where it's just been a complete shootout.
Yeah. UL Monroe, Northwestern. I saw the score update was Northwestern was down 7-0. So they scored the next 42 points. So good for them.
Oh yeah.
And then it's a very short card. Everyone was on a bye, which suffered a lot of people's fantasy teams. We're going to leave one game, obviously, for the end. And I guess, Zach, if you want to touch on your lock of the week.
Yeah, my lock of the week died. I mean,
it should know, which sucks. But
kudos to Washington. They were down, I believe it was like 20-3 or something. I didn't really watch.
20-0 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, I really didn't watch a ton of it. I was kind of all over the place.
The 3:30 slate was a pretty good slate. So when I saw it went to 20-0 in the third quarter, I turned this game off. I did not know that they lost until the next day.
Yeah, so Washington made a comeback in typical Washington fashion. Maryland is, it's just so unpredictable. They're good, but are they really good? Or are they like
they're September
going? They're gonna. The September curse lives on. They didn't cover the spread, unfortunately, which my lock of the week died there. But damn close to covering there. I just don't understand. Like, can they not play with a win, or can they not play while winning, or are they just back to their old ways? It's just hard to say right now. We'll keep going throughout the year to see and monitor Maryland and what they do. But, another Washington win.
We'll talk about my lock of the week in a minute. I know, Cozy, I don't remember what yours was. Do you remember what it was?
I do, and it lost.
Yeah, I think we all lost.
My lock of the week was Iowa State.
Oh, that's right.
Now,
oh, man.
Talk about an awful start to the game. Then they rallied, and then you were like, "Oh, Cincinnati's in full implosion mode." And the main problem is Iowa State doesn't have a kicker. They have no kicker at all, so they couldn't attempt any field goals to get it even closer.
Damn.
Yeah, that's really bad.
It kind of really puts the Big 12 in a bad spot because you're thinking, okay, the Big 12 is like almost guaranteed. If Iowa State keeps winning, BYU keeps winning, Texas Tech keeps winning, they're almost guaranteed 2 teams in. Now they're kind of like at this place where it's like, okay, who's getting in? Granted, it's really good. I mean, this thing could get really crazy down the stretch. I mean, with every conference. But there's so many teams now in each conference that it just makes it harder to be able to be like, okay, well, is this team really that good? Who's going to play in the conference championships? Is this team really that good? I mean, perfect example, Indiana last year, 11-1. Were they that good? No, they got destroyed by Notre Dame. I mean, destroyed by Notre Dame.
No, this year, it's like, are they good this year? We'll see. The test of time. I mean,
Yeah, you're right, Cozy. With the expanded schedule pooling, you can really get away with it. Like Michigan had probably the hardest schedule in the country last year. When looking back on it, and going into it, you didn't even think it was going to be necessarily that bad. But oh wait, Illinois is really good. Oh, Indiana's a top 10 team. And then you look at like Michigan's schedule this year, and we just dodged almost every bullet. We have like 2 or 3 hard games. Last year, if you would have said that my third hardest game or second hardest game would have been, conference wise, would have been Nebraska and USC, I'd be like, please, God, that'd be great. I mean, our road slate last year was crazy. Like one of our easiest road games was at Washington last year, which was a debacle. So you're totally right with these expanded schedules. You don't know, but it was one of those ones where like Vegas kind of told you that they're like potentially Iowa State was fraudish, but they just kept winning in weird ways.
Yeah. And not only did they keep winning in weird ways, like the last 2 weeks, they really put the hammer down on 2 teams. And I mean, Arizona's not Arizona of the past few seasons, but they're not a terrible team.
Yeah. They got some pros out there.
Look, the thing is, like, I'm looking, I just looked it up right now. BYU, we're really going to find out how good they are coming down the stretch because they got a gauntlet of games as far as the Big 12 gauntlet of games goes. At Arizona, Utah, at Iowa State, at Texas Tech. Those are the next 4 games.
And if your home game is the Holy War, like that's
you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, Big 12. There's just so many teams in all these conferences. I mean, it's like we're not seeing Oregon. We're seeing Oregon next year, but then after that, we don't see Oregon for like 2 more years. And everyone's like, "Oh man, this is a new Big 10 rivalry: Oregon versus Iowa State." I'm like, we're not going to play each other enough for it to be a rivalry. Like, it's just
usually by now you kind of have a prediction on who's going to make conference championships for, I would say at least half, maybe 3/4 of the champions, like who's going to make it. Besides one conference, I don't know right now. You know what I mean? The SEC is so up for grabs. Anybody can win that. The Big 12 is up for grabs. The ACC is up for grabs. Like, I get it. Miami's so good right now, but
ACC
like,
sorted itself
Georgia
out
Tech
hard this weekend, in my opinion.
Georgia Tech could upset them at any time. You know what I mean?
I don't even know if it's Georgia Tech would upset them. I think it's Miami has a tendency to implode. They almost did it twice this season. They had teams dead to right.
They play down a lot.
I was watching the Tigers game, and I get a tweet from my good friend and potentially friend of the program, Rico Bosco, and he says, the back door is wide open in Tallahassee. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? I look at my phone, and I go, it's 28 to what now? So, but the, you know what? So we did all of our locks of the week except mine. We'll talk about mine in a minute. And then I guess we just want to go through our games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's
okay, chronologically, I think it's E. So this is this game kind of felt like the Lions game for me. For those of you that knew what happened with the Lions, we were in complete control of the game, but it was like 7-7 for a long time, 7-10 for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin was doing absolutely nothing, but Michigan just loved giving the ball right back. So
they played the worst offense I've ever seen. It was so predictable. It was run up the middle, run or pass, throw the ball away, punt. That was it. The whole game.
Yeah. It was just like the problem Michigan's had, and they've been, this is a stat I'm 99% sure is true. We've been outpossessed in the first half of every game, including New Mexico, including Central, right? If we run, this offense is very prone to quick drives, which is completely opposite of what Harbaugh and the rest of them did. But at the same time, Michigan just lives on the explosives. Like, Wisconsin opened up the kitchen sink, walked down the field, and scored on Michigan, right? That was the last time I believe they entered the red zone the rest of the game. They might have at the end on that field goal, but that was when we had, a bunch of 17-year-olds in. But so the defense did a great job. I thought they just kind of, again, outside the first drive, it was all punts and 1 or 2 turnovers and then a field goal. Rod Moore had a great pick. Jair Hill did commit like assault on the receiver, but I think everyone was like looking for the good story, so they wanted to see that happen. On offense,
it was absolutely PI, and everybody's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "The dude got killed."
Yeah. It's weird because like it was such an underthrown ball. I could almost see that they didn't throw it because it was almost uncatchable for the receiver, which was crazy. But yeah, I mean, he got mugged, maybe holding. I don't know. But yeah, so the offense was fine. The running was fine. Again, like the Lions, Justice Haynes is unreal. He reminds me of Gibbs. And then your Montgomery is Jordan Marshall, where he's a great running back, but the offensive line just kind of doesn't like to block for him sometimes.
Yeah, that was weird.
There's a viral clip where he gets handed the ball off, and as the ball is out of Bryce's hand, he's already being tackled. The offensive line is so bad to a point where I think you need 4 guys now. We were parading Andrew Sprague around as this freak show nature because he was dominating Alabama. Whatever. I mean, I don't know how good he actually even is. I think I need a whole new O-line. Maybe just Jake Guanera can keep his spot. It's just so funny that they're like a very good run blocking team, and then Bryce drops back to pass, and they all just forget how to play any sports. It's very funny. Tight ends didn't do much. With the receivers, it's the same talk it's been all year. Michigan leads the country in drops. I believe the number is 15, which is hysterical. It takes Bryce's completion percentage, that suddenly is an important stat to a certain Twitter base, from 55% to 71%, because 15 drops. That's kind of crazy. But if you look at the receiver strategy with Michigan, there's a bunch of guys that suck, but you bought one, Donovan McCulley. He was unreal. They're starting to use him now, which is crazy. I mean, he reminds me of what Nico Collins is doing in the NFL. I mean, we never really threw the ball to Nico Collins. He was a really good run blocker, though. But I mean, McCulley, the last 2 weeks, has had some of the most crazy highlight reel catches you've seen. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, technically, it was against Nebraska.
It's wild that he's still eligible to play. It's wild.
Because he sat out the last year and a half, basically.
Correct.
So there's that, and then Andrew Marsh, your freshman, had another incredible catch, another great game. I believe they said that was the first game Michigan had 200 yards receiving by receivers since, I think they said the TCU game, where we were just spraying it all over the field. I know that's crazy to say. I think both of you guys have had that happen multiple times this year. But yeah, and it was nice because we had, I think, 6 5-star receivers in attendance. So that was very nice to see. And, I hope someone was as smart ass as me was like, oh, look, he just dropped another one. You got his spot. Oh, he dropped one. You got his spot. Oh, he dropped another one. You got his spot. I think there was 4 drops. The fair play of the game, though, was the Samaj Morgan got a pass that he basically dropped, caught it, bobbled it, and then fumbled it, and then recovered his own fumble. It was very funny. I was like, no. Okay, fine. So very sloppy win. But, in a vacuum, it's a 2-score win at home. I don't know if you guys watched the end of my game. One of the more strange endings to a football game I've seen in a very long time. I think Fickle was trying to get fired. He decided to onside kick, then not call timeouts. And Michigan was like, we're not really going to just take knees, which was also weird. Because, I almost joke it's at the end of a video game where, like, you put on chew clock in the video game, you take a knee, and they just burn it. They don't even take timeouts, it just buzzes it through. It's almost like a surrender truce thing. And then all of a sudden, they started hurrying up. One of the most bet props was Jordan Marshall scored a touchdown, and that would have been the craziest win you've ever seen because Michigan kind of ran like hurry up offense at the end of the game. It was weird. My only thought process is Sharon, the Ohio State merchant, was like their coach used to coach Ohio State, so we're trying to rub it in him. I don't know what was going on. Very quick handshake, as you might imagine. Luke Fickle was like this. Didn't even like look at him and like just like basically he touched his finger and it was gone. Very weird. If you had Michigan spread, I apologize for how that game ended, getting down like the 2-yard line, but just overall weird. But as the day went on, as you might imagine, Cozy, this win got a lot better in my eyes. So, it was a survive and advance week that I didn't know that it was going to be a survive and advance week because every other
weird.
game in my
it was really weird
blowout. So, there's a lot of teams I think that played later in the day that would have taken the 2-score win.
Yeah. So I didn't really get to watch much football on Saturday. I was coming back from a wedding in Michigan. It was a 5-hour drive.
Oh, Cozy in Michigan, huh?
But
noticing something.
I had to listen to, I don't know what he's trying to do there, but I was listening to the Michigan broadcast at the end of that game.
Oh, friend of the program, John Jansen.
And it was a
great guy.
They didn't exactly know what was going on.
It was so weird.
And I was trying to like figure out, I'm like, okay, so they just, first off, I was like, okay, wait a minute. You're down 24-7 and you're kicking a field goal. Like, just go for it. But at the same time, I get that it was like,
I'm so convinced goal. Coaches know spreads now. Like, they've always known, but like now they're not even hiding it. That's a spread kick.
Yeah. I was kind of like, okay, well, wait a minute here. It's 24-7. You're kicking a field goal here, but wasn't it like fourth and goal from like the 20 though?
I believe so. Let me double check for you.
I mean, still,
it was.
Even at that point, it's still
3rd and 3, false start, 15-yard sack.
Yeah. Yep. So even still though, it's like, okay, look, didn't they go for it on 4th down earlier in the drive too?
Yeah,
I think they did. Okay. So it's like, okay, so you tried to do this now. Now you're down at like the 20-yard line. You're just going to decide to kick a field goal. It's like, I get it. It's a long, unmakeable, but like, what's the difference? You're still going to be down, even if you don't make it by 17 or 14. It's not really going to change. Like, there wasn't enough time for you to basically come back. And I mean, if you get the one onside kick and you go down and score, I don't know. It was just a very weird, awkward situation. And they were just kind of like, okay, no one's using a timeout. Okay. And Michigan's going up the line real quick and they're snapping it. And it's like, wait, what? I don't know. It was just very weird. I could not imagine being there. You were probably just like, okay, can we just get this over with?
It was the end zone away from me too. So it was even weirder. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah. So they were going towards the student section then?
Yeah. And I was like, you're actually going to make a lot of people really happy if you score this touchdown, Sharon.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, Sharon, it's very simple. If the fans don't like you as much as they do, dude, just start covering spreads and we're all okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I don't bet spreads on my own team.
We can go to the next game in line.
Quick closing moments.
Oh, yeah.
2 guys on the all-name team in this game. Vinny Anthony II, guy was absolutely all over the place. And a guy on their team on defense, Sebastian Cheeks, all-time name. So
yeah,
I did see that one.
Yeah, it's funny because our announcers are hilarious. They're in the stadium. Sebastian Cheeks on the stop. It's like, oh, nice. Just very funny in a very boring game. It was pretty funny. So now we go to our good friend and resident Sparty correspondent, Mr. Stowe.
Oh, me? Okay.
In chronological order, he played at 4, man.
I thought we were gonna go 3:30.
No, we're saving that for the very end. That's the very, very end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was that needs to be talked about in depth. I didn't really watch it because I was like, this is embarrassing. I don't know if anybody should have to watch this. We lost by 11. Look, the biggest killer in this game was our special teams, and it wasn't 100% on the offense. I get it. There's tough conditions. We made plays when need be. Both passing and running the ball, we were sufficient on offense. I would say our defense probably played by far their best. They scored 38, but our defense played by far the best game of the season because of the fact that we gave them on special teams the ball. I'm pretty sure their starting field position was midfield every single drive. The punt returns, we all had them at midfield. We had a blocked punt. We had a fumble on a kickoff that the ball went 5 feet forward and then 5 feet backwards because of the wind. And then two guys tried to fair catch it and ran into each other. I don't even know what happened there. It was just take away the special teams blunders, and this is a much, much different game because we had all the momentum and gave it right back to them with special teams issues, and they scored right away. And then it kind of just tumbled downhill from there. I think if we would have figured that out earlier, Raiola could not do a thing. He was playing probably the worst game I've ever seen him play in. And then we kind of just gave them opportunities and we didn't capitalize. So, other than that, back at it again at home against UCLA this week. So, it should be an interesting time because I don't know what to make of them. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But, Mr. Cozy, floor is yours.
Nike.
Real quick, I got some thoughts on the Sparty game because I was able to watch the entire second half. There's two things. So, not this guy on our podcast, but Spartan fans love, to me, they're the definition of too much dip on your chip. And they've been peddling the narrative, whether they're serious or not, that they have the better quarterback. I will never hear that ever again. This guy, Childs, sucks. I'm sorry. I don't care. He's not good at football. He's a horrible leader. He appears to be a horrific teammate. He got into multiple altercations on the sideline. You've got some very legitimately good receivers, okay? And I don't know if it's like a Jalen Hurts situation where, like, it's just something's going on. There's something behind the scenes or something. But, I know they came off the field pissed. And you bring in the Serbian Hammer, is what my buddy was calling him. I was watching a game with him. Alisylio Milivojevic. This dude lit it up. I don't know if it was because the game was already over at the point, but I don't know if it was like a soft benching. I know Childs was limping and stuff, but like when he was playing, he was fine. I don't know. He had some sick runs. He had some crazy plays. This was the worst quarterbacking game I've seen any two guys play in my entire life because somehow Mahomes played even worse. It was a total debacle. At one point, Raiola, he ended up stat padding pretty hard because there was a point where it was Childs was, I think, 8 for 13 for 25 yards or something. And Raiola was like 6 for 18 for like 20 yards. I don't know where all the rest of these yards came from on both sides. It was diabolical. I know they had 2 broken plays at the end by Nebraska. I believe Sparty did cover. So I think this is the second time this kid's covered. I believe you guys covered against Oregon last year when you pulled Childs for this Milivojevic kid. So shout out to this kid for continuing to cover spreads. He's a beast. I don't know if there's a quarterback controversy in East Lansing. I just want it on record that I will never hear about Childs' hype ever again because you don't want to waste these good receivers. And one decommitted today. So I don't know what that's all about, but we'll see. Huge bounce back next week where you got the time zone stat going in for your advantage. Someone posted it today that Big Ten teams are 4-12 when traveling multiple time zones. So we actually have a lot of those games this week. We'll talk about in a minute. But I did feel bad laughing as hard as I did at the special teams blunder. I don't know if you saw it, Cozy. I think you probably didn't get to see it, I assume.
No, because I did get to watch UCLA Penn State because I got back and that game was in the middle of the second quarter.
They shanked they shanked the ball short, and two of like the blocking guys, the walking white walking guys, synchronized a fair catch and then slammed into each other, and the ball just fell. It was tough because by then the game was kind of getting out of hand. Childs did like some stupid.
Oh, it was only one. It was only one score game. They had just scored.
Right before Childs did some stupid reverse lateral thing that was definitely a lateral that they called a forward pass. They scooped for a thing. I don't know. He was doing some weird stuff. It was.
How many times have you watched that on replay just to get a good laugh?
Only once or twice, but also time management. Michigan State was out of timeouts with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Okay. Childs was like kind of faking injury, in my opinion. Obviously, I don't know. He was fine, and then they set the ball, and then he fell down. So then they had to burn it on their own timeouts, and it was just like, what? That was the last timeout of the half, by the way. They called a timeout on like a 4th and goal. It was funny. I'm trying to get the exact stats. Michigan State was 2 for 14 on 3rd down, but they were 4 for 4 on 4th down. They at the end of the game they lost one, whatever. But Childs had some pretty fun plays, but the fun plays didn't outweigh the bad, as you can see with the 13 rushes for 23 yards and 2 touchdowns. But I don't want to hear that Spartan nonsense. 9 for 23. Take the completion percentage up your ass.
But I am going to
definitely the most important stat because he can verify.
Very, very, very quick with my game because there was just everyone was flipping out because Minnesota went down the field, scripted plays. This defense,
everyone was flipping out. It was 3-0, and Cozy said, "See, I was right to be worried."
I was. I mean, I was a little bit. And then, I think it really kind of like it clicked. When we missed the field goal, I was like, it's going to be one of these games where everything just doesn't go our way. And we just somehow find ourselves in a dogfight in the 4th quarter or something like that.
Speaking of that, because I want to touch on that. I'm sorry, but to make your kicker kick a 54-yard field goal after his longest of the year is 38 instead of going for it just seems like a stupid idea to me. And that's just
I mean, in a game where you have no threat of losing, you might as well test it out.
See, and you know what? Going back hindsight, I think we just tested it out to see.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: he had the distance.
Kickers are weird. My kicker sucks all of a sudden. So I don't know.
I mean,
that's weird. That's weird to me. I don't understand what happened there.
He had the distance to hit it. Let's just say this. So there were a few things in this game. I've been to a lot of Ohio State games, and I've been to a lot of other football games. I don't think that I've ever seen Carnell Tate and Julian Sain walk up to the line in the game to where, like, when they threw the long pass to Carnell Tate, I don't think I've ever seen two guys walk up to the line and just look at each other and like shake their head like, yeah, we're scoring on this play. You saw Jeremiah Smith literally go in motion and you saw the whole defense shift. And then the next thing you know is you just see Carnell Tate. He could not have taken 2 steps off the line and he threw his hand up like this. And you just see Julian just sit back there and just throw it on a dime. And it was like, okay, well, like I'm being very honest. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in a football game to where it was like, yeah, we're scoring on this play, by the way. There was that. There was I actually love the punt return trick play because now it kind of puts in the Brandon Ennis throw it backwards, Lorenzo Styles. Like now teams are going to be looking for that. And they're just going to kind of be like in the back of their head, like, okay, when are they going to pull it? When are they going to pull it out of their back pocket to run this play?
That?
Huh?
When? What time of the game was it?
It was like the 3rd quarter, I think. Yeah, it was I
know Ryan Day loves getting the trick plays going when he's up 40. So I don't know when it was.
Yeah, it was like maybe like middle of the 3rd quarter, maybe like middle to late of the 3rd quarter. And I mean.
0 plays this game, so sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so it was like 21-3. We were in the trick play, and then we just handed the ball off to Bo Jackson 3 or 4 times, and he went in the end zone for a touchdown. Line was great. Minnesota this is not one of Minnesota's better teams. I get they're 3-2. They are going to be fighting for a bowl position late in the season. I haven't even looked at their schedule, but this is not a great Minnesota team. Obviously, they don't have a kicker either, considering they missed a field goal.
Purdue in a bounce back spot.
Let's see. Do they have a bounce? Oh, yes, they do. They play Purdue. Yes.
Nebraska at home on a Friday. Then they got at Iowa, home against Sparty. That's going to be the big hinge game. And then you've got at Oregon.
I like that game.
You're going to get your money. And then you've got at Northwestern and home against Minnesota for the act.
How do they play themselves? Wait, home against who?
Wisconsin. Relax.
What? They're playing themselves?
No. Here's the thing. So I'm looking at it right now. They could end up like 8-4, 9-3 even.
Yeah.
I know that's like, I just kind of said they might win 6 games, but the quality teams they play.
They got a Big Ten West schedule somehow.
Yes. A very much Big Ten West schedule.
And their East teams are Rutgers and Ohio State and Michigan State.
Yeah.
Very fortunate scheduling there.
Yes. Other than that, they have a great safety. That's probably their best player by far.
They always do. It's crazy.
I know. They have a great safety. Other than that, look, another good win. On to Illinois. No celebrating, whatever. Let's go. But now the big game that we want to talk about, the 3:30 game, which was just a masterclass by James Franklin. Like,
I never left. I never left, even though I did pick against him as a lock of the week. We're not talking about that, though. Listen.
Now.
Wait, you took Penn State?
Oh, yeah, Penn State was on lock of the week.
That's right. Penn State was his lock of the week to cover.
Yeah, instead of covering by 25, they covered by negative.
Okay, so
30.
I started this game out on the drive back in the car, found it on the radio.
I watched the whole game.
And
yeah,
when it got up to be 10-0, I was like, first off, when it was 7-0, and then they kicked the onside kick and got the onside kick, I was like,
unbelievable kick, by the way,
of all time.
I've never seen anything like it. That was unreal.
When that happened, I was like, uh-oh, Penn State's in trouble.
I don't know if that – do you think they called that, or was it just the coverage was so broken?
No,
there was nobody there.
So the way they lined it up, and this is a new formation that a lot of teams use, you take like 3/4 of the field and you bring everybody in tight on the far side, and then you have all your guys kind of like 3 or 4, and then like one guy in the end just to be a contained guy. So they're bringing in tight, and usually when they kick it, they'll spread out more, and then they'll figure it out instead of like using the whole length of the field. This is just to like cut down the field, and they basically just set it up to where that outside guy just goes whoop, and then they literally had it perfect. They must have seen something in film that said, "Oh, Penn State's outside front line guy is moving so quick, and he's just going so far back, way before the ball is kicked." So they're just like, "Screw it, we'll just kick it over there. Take a risk. We have nothing to lose."
So UCLA kind of played like very loose. Like UCLA definitely went into this game and was like, we have nothing to lose. We're 0-4. We're literally the laughing stock of college football right now. Everyone who is looking at us is going, oh, well, this team sucks. They're like the worst team ever. They may not win a game. And that's the way UCLA played. Like, they literally played that way. The one thing is, look, how don't you have a spy on Nico? Like,
at some point. Well, I know why.
Point.
I mean, it's pretty clear why. I mean, you kind of told us, you and the rest of your fan base have told us why.
Well,
Geezer doesn't make adjustments.
And his defense is very, 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 very complicated to learn. And I don't think that they know it quite right now.
Plus,
and when he does make
better linebackers died in the first half, and they had to bring in some random that everyone says sucked. And clearly.
I'm just going to say this. I mean, you could see in the end of the second quarter desperation from Penn State, like major desperation from Penn State. Still don't know quite what that 4th down and 2 play was.
Yeah. There was a few times where it was some of the worst play calling I've ever seen. But what made this game so bad for me to James Franklin was it was so obvious that Penn State was going to win this game.
Yes.
When they came out of the second half, it was like, okay, they pressed the button. It was fun. We all had our jokes. We got our jokes off. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to delete some tweets. We were mother effing everybody. And it was like, oh, touchdown, block punt, touchdown. Okay, cool. Whatever. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then UCLA said, oh, okay, let's keep going. And I was like, it's like the live line, it was UCLA was like favored for like the end of the first half. And then it swung back to Penn State minus like 6 or 7. And I was like, okay, cool. Hope you got Penn State at a good number. Sweet. That rocks. Yeah. And then it was just like, oh wow. Like I've never seen a team get upset where they like I don't think they took the lead, but it was like under a 1-score game. They swung all the way back.
It was off the block punt is when I thought, okay.
Oh yeah.
Like there was a point there was points in each moment of this game where you like kept looking at it and you kept going, okay, it's 27-21. Like, okay, joke's over. Like UCLA's done. Like it's going to be like a 35-27 Penn State win or 42-27 Penn State win. Like there's no way that they're not going to come back. I'm not even going to lie to you. When UCLA took the safety with like 17 seconds left, I thought, oh crap, they're still gonna hit a Hail Mary or something, and they're gonna win this game. And then, okay, first off, anyone else here, when they kicked the ball off to the goal line, why didn't he fair catch it? Save time, preserve time.
Same thing happened in the Bills game last night.
Yeah, it did. But save time, preserve time, whatever you want to say. You have 17 seconds left. If you get a pass over the middle to the 50-yard line, you're at least in range to attempt a Hail Mary.
Seconds might as well be 2 minutes.
Yeah. I wanted to be like, why did you not fair catch it? Instead, and more
importantly, what's the first play they run after that?
Oh, a little run.
1 yard swing pass. I'm looking at the stats. Yes. It ended up being 0 yards. They burned 6 seconds on a swing pass.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I know you can't do it because, look, I'm not one of these people that could sit here and say they don't have the money to do it, but you're not going to cut that check like that. But he's a dead man walking at this point. I don't think he's obviously going to finish the season. They're not going to fire him mid-season, barring something crazy. I think it's pretty clear they've reached the end of the road. Because like everyone's been saying, and I'm sure every other podcast you listen to has been saying, Penn State's like fallback is we beat everybody that's not good. So, we have 2 big ranked games in the schedule. We're gonna go 10-2. Cool. Now you're losing the games you've never lost before. It's just time. And I know I had a crazy Twitter space the other day where I was beating the drum that they're going to get screwed and they're going to lose, blah, 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 blah. They're going to get fired, blah, 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 blah. Even I didn't think it was this bad. Yes, I'm a Nico Stan. I think the guy's going to be a high first-round pick when he leaves as a quarterback, and I got a lot of hate from that. But, I mean, he was the best player on the field today. He showed it. He's a gamer. That's why I'm really interested what happened with that behind the scenes at Tennessee. I hope we get like a tell-all one day of what actually happened because he did not play like a multi-million-dollar prima donna 0-4 quarterback where he could have just mailed it in. He was looking like Lamar Jackson. He was out there running, diving, twisting, turning, total moxie, total swagger. And you just look across the sideline and you've got that new Heisel kid, or whatever his name is. He's got his microphone not even down sometimes when he's calling plays. He's all over the place. They said he had like 2 days to learn how to call plays and like game plan for this game, and they got their asses handed to him by the highest paid DC, a team that's littered with talent, preseason number 2 team. It was just a complete embarrassment on all fronts, and it covered up a lot of bad football throughout the day. So I'm sure people like Steve Sarkisian love what happened in not even Happy Valley, in the Rose Bowl. Yeah, I mean, complete disaster. And again, he might not get fired, but I think they're going to let him go somewhere else. Arkansas makes a lot of sense. Somebody said it. That makes a lot of sense to me. That Arkansas can be like, we have Franklin and Coach Cal, and we're going to give you $1 billion.
Here's the thing, and Arkansas does make a lot of sense. The other thing is with Arkansas is he knows the SEC landscape, and he's taken a pretty bad program and made them a little bit
expectations in at Florida too. So
no.
And last thing on this, I don't want to hear a peep out of Penn State fans about their running back duo ever again. That shit's so mid, beyond mid. God, embarrassing.
You didn't think they had a good game?
No. 11 carries for 39 yards. Nick Singleton. What the hell is a Nick Singleton?
You know who led their team in rushing?
Of course. Fat boy stumbler. Look, man, my running back rolls out of bed and he has 100 yards and a touchdown. Couldn't beat Penn State. I think he's outrushed. I seriously think Justice Haynes outrushed Penn State's running back duo at every game this year himself. That might be a real stat. Second best running back in the nation, Justice Haynes. That's fun. So,
you say second best?
Yeah,
that's realistic.
We'll talk about the best in this upcoming week's game preview.
Other than that, we had quite a few upsets in the landscape of college football. One that I thought might happen did not. Miami did get through Florida State, although they tried their best to have the wheels fall off. I mean, I was at my game and I just kept getting update after update, and it was 28-3, and I'm like, oh well, this game's over.
Yeah, watching the Tigers, and just like,
and then all of a sudden, everyone starts going, oh, Florida State scored again. Oh, Florida State scored again, and then it was 28-22, and it's like, okay, well, I think they took a safety at the end of the game, right? Correct.
No, they kicked a field goal. They were down 2 scores, and they kicked a field goal.
Oh, that's right.
Spread. People got very angry, but it was the correct analytical play. I haven't seen people do that correct play in a long time. Maybe 2 more shots at the end zone because you had like 25 seconds. But
yeah,
as soon as they got in a field goal range, they're like, all right, let's just kick it with 30 seconds left, whatever. So if they get the onside kick, they're fine, but they did not. It wasn't really close either. But nothing much more from me there. I mean, only other game I really wanted to even touch on was you look at this, and this is a real stat that I did tweet out. I didn't see anybody. I saw people like hinting at it, but I was like, no one's actually going to say it. They're phrasing it wrong. You got to phrase it the right way to make it even funnier. The preseason number 1 and number 2 team have combined for 0 Power 5 wins, and we are in week 6 heading into week 7. I don't think people understand how crazy of a stat that is. And this might be the hot take. I think Texas is more disappointing than Penn State.
I don't think that's necessarily a hot take. But I think there was a lot of pressure put on Texas to be that team in the SEC.
Yeah, and screw the SEC.
And they're just not that team.
They're the title favorites.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
Heisman favorite, title favorite. Dude, my running back has better Heisman odds than Arch Manning.
Now, I'm going to say this, though.
You've got like 3 dudes on your roster with better title odds or Heisman odds than Arch Manning.
Yes, correct.
Childs might even have better odds. All right, I don't go that far.
Arch.
Childs might be better, and I'm very serious.
I did not watch a ton of this game because, I mean,
you don't need to. You don't need to. They suck.
Bad.
Simple.
Every Florida game's a
They're
bad.
terrible.
Oh, here's the thing. I heard that they couldn't block anybody at all.
So the thing with Florida that makes it so frustrating is, again, they have a bad quarterback. He's always hurt, which I'm not making fun of the fact that he's hurt, but if you're always hurt, that means you're a bad quarterback. Sorry. I know Joe Burrow is this unreal MVP guy. You get hurt every year. So I don't know, but the Florida's D-line has always been good, and their O-line is very good. They've got elite trenches. It's just I don't know where the disconnect is, because their running back Baugh, by the way, Run Baugh is a sick thing they always say, Run Baugh. He's very good. DJ Lagway stinks. They got Dallas Wilson, the kid that was going to go to Oregon. Thank God he's not at Oregon. This dude Cozy just had a Ryan Williams-esque spin move down the sideline. I'm sure you probably saw that highlight, but
I did. Yep.
He's an animal. Thank God he's not at fucking Oregon. Imagine him and DK.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Now, outside of that,
see how crazy it is to have a game-breaking 5-star receiver? Michigan, let's pony up. But Arch was just throwing ducks. He's got zero confidence, and it's not like he's just throwing wrong. Like everyone says, his mechanics suck. He throws like he's on drunk on a beach. His feet are doing the hot girl thing where when chicks walk with both feet out, it's the most unathletic thing possible. Yep. He stands in the pocket like he's almost perched on a corner. It's just weird. And I said this legitimately, and I got yelled at by all the Texas fans. And I did punctuate it with all caps Vegas. Us on Twitter would know what I mean by that. I said, at what point do you push Arch out? I'm very serious.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be. Okay, when he was getting recruited, everybody in the world kept saying, "How is he a 5-star? How is he a 5-star?"
Yeah, and we kind of knew the answer, but you would like to think that people weren't so stupid. Look, the James kids aren't that great, but they're not getting a crazy bump. Was Bronny a 4-star? You could argue it. Is the Bryce kid a 3-star? Maybe, but they're not the number 1 overall guy.
It's kind of crazy.
My personal example is Charles Woodson Jr. is a mid 3-star.
And also, love him, hate him, I don't care. Paul Feinbaum's usually not this wrong on somebody. And he was going impressive.
Everyone just wanted it to be so true that they just, I think, looked past some certain things. Because I remember after your game, actually the Barstool guys were kind of the ones that made this so big and they blew it up. But I saw their tweet that went the most viral. Just some of those highlights in high school. And you're wait, what?
Yeah.
Because I remember having to argue with people for my guy over here, for Nico, because it was him versus Nico for number 1 recruit.
Yeah.
And I was like, this dude Nico is a 5-star athlete for volleyball as well. I go, even if he can't throw, he can just run and be the best guy out there. We saw that this week. But I don't know, man. I know that Diabell kid's coming in, who's a really good freshman. I don't know. I mean, because even when Malik Murphy would come in instead of Arch a couple years ago, it was who is this kid? This Malik Murphy guy kind of rules. Obviously, he sucks at Oregon State, but how bad are they missing Quinn Ewers?
Yeah. They could have had Quinn back. I think Quinn would have wanted to come back, but
they're pushing him out. They pushing him out.
The only other game that I want to touch on is real quick, maybe 1 or 2 sentences. Vandy and Bama. Bama looks like they're back. Vandy
all-time cover.
Vandy though, I think they're pretty good.
If their name wasn't Vanderbilt,
they would be
way more seriously.
Correct. And that's why
they fuck around and make the playoffs still.
Yes,
they'd be hard, but I think they'd be a fun playoff team. But can we make one agreement? You know how we try to make some fun bowl games? Could you imagine an Illinois Vanderbilt Orange Bowl?
Oof.
Actually, Orange Bowl is probably a real bowl.
So would it be Bielema against? Because I don't think Vandy's coach is that outspoken, but I mean,
I think it'd be Bielema versus Pavia.
Pavia, yeah, yep,
yeah.
I will say this:
practicing the kneel down at the beginning of the game, all-time move. That's hysterical. You kind of got to back it up, though.
Yes.
And
I know.
people online that are shitting on this one kid that was yelling at Pavia. Pavia's my age, okay? We're the same high school class. Dog, I've been out the game for 3 years. Like, hang him up, brother. Then again, if I was getting paid millions of dollars to live in Nashville and play college football, I'd do anything for that. So,
yeah, I mean,
actually, and keep shooting your shot at Tate McRae. You know, that's good take. Shout out Hockey back tomorrow.
The other thing is, I mean, Vandy definitely has a shot at the playoffs. Like, if they can, okay, take the name away and they go 10-2 with the rest of their schedule that they have left.
Oh, they're in for sure. No, 10-2 SEC is no problem. I think we might be getting some 9-win teams in this year. Sorry, 3-loss teams, if I can get correct.
Okay. Yeah, because, I mean, they got LSU, Missouri, Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, and Tennessee left on the schedule. None of those are easy. None of them are easy. Like,
God damn it, that's a tough 3-game schedule.
Now
Texas
here's the
thing. Game of that schedule, I'll say it.
You might be right. Now, I don't know. Kentucky's pretty bad.
No, I'm saying the 3 games get 3-game split
the
of
3 games in a row,
LSU at home,
Missouri
at home, and at Texas.
Yes,
I love Vandy. I really do love Vandy. They don't really have any home games.
No,
it's like
they don't have a home.
There'll be a lot of purple next week, or is that 2 weeks?
Yes,
in
correct.
2 weeks
and
against LSU.
Missouri fans too are probably going to travel to Nashville. I mean, you get a free weekend in Nashville. Basically, you go get to see your team and a party in Nashville. So it's a no-brainer.
Drink too much and go to their hospital. They got a great person there working for them. No free ads.
Other than that, I don't really got anything. I'm good to move on.
It was a very saturated 3:30 slate, but it friggin' ruled. And again, I don't know how the MLB fixes it. No one in their right mind watched that shit. What was it? Which game was that even? I don't even know what game it was that was during that stuff.
Phillies Dodgers.
Yeah, like they had like an all-time collapse, and I'm sure no one watched it because they were watching all the 3:30 games.
Correct.
You can't go against the NFL either. They got to figure out like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like they should own Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh yes, absolutely, I agree.
So, I'm even looking down here. Anything I care about? Texas Tech is awesome.
Yeah.
And Virginia, good for them. Touchdown underdog. I may or may not have needed their quarterback to get a rushing touchdown to cash a crazy 5 to win like $2,000 parlay, allegedly. He got concussed on the 1-yard line. He had like a 15-yard run in overtime, went diving and got his head taken off. But Virginia is on the bubble for the college football playoff. Virginia and Vanderbilt are flirting with the playoff. If NIL is bad for the sport, yes, but you get these results, screw it. Why not?
I'm just gonna say this. Not basketball, but for football, you could see a Vandy, Indiana, and Virginia all in the college football playoffs.
Shout out NIL, baby.
Okay. On to week 7.
Yeah, we'll quickly touch on some of these games. Probably the best slate you're going to get for a long time in terms of every day.
For the Big Ten especially. I mean, there's only 1 or 2 games, 1 game pretty much in every slate that has a spread greater than 8, which is nice.
Just some other games quickly in the week. Tulane host ECU Thursday night. If you're not watching Cam Scadaboo and Jackson Dart and Saquon Barkley run it 500 times combined, you can watch that Points Fest. It's going to be very fun. Huge game for the American. And then Friday, potentially game of the year territory. South Florida goes to North Texas. The Mean Green. This over-under is 68. Talk about points. South Florida's a 1-point favorite on the road, so it's a pure pick 'em when they're expecting we're going to have 70 points. So let's go. I mean, what's that? 10 touchdowns? That game's going to friggin' rock. And then starting off our game. That's what I'm saying. Starting off our Big Ten schedule, Rutgers travels out to Washington.
60 points right there.
Big Ten after dark. And I'd just like to point out that a Friday night game in Husky Stadium is apparently not appealing, especially when it's Rutgers, considering you can get into this game for $11.
And you know what the worst part is? I'm going to quickly check something. Oh, okay. It's spread out a little bit.
Okay.
The game 5 of the ALDS against the Tigers would be at 4:00.
Oh.
So at least there's not overlap. That could be.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know that.
Probably not. Statistically not. 4 hours, no. But
here's the thing. There is a possibility that game gets flexed to later.
Wait, we don't play a back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday?
we
Or
do.
Tuesday, Wednesday?
Tuesday, Wednesday. Travel day Thursday back out to Seattle. Well,
Friday would be
Tigers
game
are
5.
winning in 4. No, I was like, we need to win.
Can't win in 3.
Yeah,
They can win in 3 if they forfeit.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, again, as Zach was pointing out, one of the better Big Ten slates. I mean, Rutgers, Washington. If anyone has anything to say about that, by all means.
I think Rutgers is going to struggle traveling all the way to the West Coast, just like everyone does that is in Big Ten play so far.
4 times
it will be
this week, by the way.
I think it will be low, by the way. I think it won't even be close.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a kind of a blowout. I think Washington sleptwalked through the Maryland game for the first 3 quarters.
And they won.
And they won, and they woke up.
Which is crazy.
I like Rutgers first half. They're going to lose, but they'll keep it close in the first half.
They will. I agree with that. Yeah.
Which I had Sparty first half. I didn't make it my lock. It was my second lock was Sparty first half, and they hung around. So then we go to Saturday. We'll skip our 3 games, so we're already into the 3:30 slot.
You excellent game here.
You got a nice time slot there, Zach. I just realized that.
Oh, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Love it. It's a great way to have a noon game, in my opinion.
3:30.
For
hold on, actually, I got to read this. Hold on. We have before this one game. Hold on. I think we did it last week too. We did it unironically last week. Now it's very ironic. Game week. Let's do this together and go 1-0. Nittany Nation, Northwestern. We are. And again, this reminds me of when Michigan went back and forth. And Michigan Ohio State actually went back and forth doing this with extend the other team's coaches' signs in the stands. This is the equivalent of that. You look at that comments, it is a lot of blue check marks from other fan bases absolutely loving this and glazing it and loving the tweet. So I kind of think you got to take Penn State minus 21.5.
I think so too. This feels like
there's going to be a buyback spot on them.
I think it's this week. They're home.
They're
wearing their throwback.
2 years ago, or was it a year ago? Like 2 years ago.
They love doing.
The team was really close.
I'm going to have
the team's so weird.
I'm going to have a very weird prediction, and I don't want attendance-wise the paid amount of attendance. I want to see the stands on TV for this game because I'm going under 90,000 are going to show up for this game.
No chance.
Trust me. No.
We'll see.
No. If anything, look. What ended up happening when Michigan started sucking with their huge stadium was younger people came in because it was finally more affordable for them to bring their 8 kids to the game. So,
they have a lottery for their freaking student tickets. You think that people aren't just going to buy the non-student tickets as students? It's a free opportunity to just go see a game.
Unless they actually have their national championship contending team. If Gavin McKenna is in town, I think you could go to that instead. So, but that was the only positive for Penn State last week. Blutman kept doing that.
They wouldn't even be playing. They wouldn't even be playing at 3:30. So people.
I definitely did not look up the hockey rankings to see if Gavin McKenna had more top 10 wins than James Franklin. Unfortunately, the Sun Devils are, I believe, 14th.
They are
an all-time stat. But what's the guy's name? UCLA coach Skipper. He's got the same amount of top 10 wins as James Franklin does in the conference. That's tough.
In one game, by the way.
Yes. Another 3:30 game. Sneaky probably a sick game. I might take this. I might do the same thing we did last week, Cozy.
Nebraska and Maryland.
Yeah. Maryland's a touchdown underdog at home again with Nebraska on the road. Dude, Nebraska's like not that good of a team. They're the best of the bad Big Ten teams.
Don't do it. Just don't. No.
I'm taking Maryland +7. Give 6.5. I'm not. We don't cheat here. No one cheats on this podcast.
Hold on. I have no comment on this game, to be honest with you, because both teams. I think
where it's I'll effing do it again. Where he's like,
both teams are bad.
This seems like a free over too. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see the free over. Both.
Probably, arguably, the game of the week. 3:30. Indiana at Oregon. I have a lock of the week here, but I'll let you guys go first.
Well, I have a lock of the week here. I hope we don't have the same lock of the week because we didn't discuss this.
I was going to make this my lock of the week too.
Oh my God. We're all going to say it on 3. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Indiana plus 7.5.
Jesus,
I'm taking my lock of the week.
Yeah,
I think they're legit.
I think Indiana is actually for real. I think this is going to be a 35-28 type of game. I think that they cover that 7.5. They keep it within a touchdown. Yeah. You think Oregon's going to blow them out of the water, don't you?
I think my good friends haven't been around the block long enough.
Okay, here's the thing.
When the spread is sitting at above a football number, they are begging you to take Indiana. On their hands and knees begging. That man, Dan Lanning, is going to be the end of the Scarface, where the dude is just face down in a pile full of great times. He's going to be shaking on the sideline, scratching at his forearm, like just absolutely tweaking beyond existence. And they are going to murder this fake good team, this fake coach, this fake team. Their fans are Notre Dame and Ohio State fans a year ago. None of this nonsense. This team is fake, fraud, chicken shit football. They're going to get absolutely boat raced and blurred. I'm talking 3 to 4 scores. Oregon is going to do what they did at the beginning of the season to this fake team with a number next to them. I'm so woke on this Indiana nonsense. Freaking Fernando Mendoza versus a bunch of Hawaiians. Give me a goddamn break.
Okay. Are you? Yeah. We're going to have to clip that next week.
Yeah, of course. Give me the over too.
Okay.
I agree on that. Over for sure. Then we got Iowa, Wisconsin.
Here's what I see it. Okay, wait.
Hold on. This actually was going to be my lock of the week. Maybe, possibly, maybe I should go back to it being my lock of the week.
We can do 2 because this one it was just head to head there.
Like here's the way I see it.
Blowout. There's no way this game is close.
Here's the way I see it. Okay, Indiana has a pretty damn good defense. They have some of the best defensive players in the conference. And I have seen against the poor offense like Penn State, which was very poor when they played Oregon, that Oregon will let teams hang around. And if they don't blow them out, I think it's just too many points for a team that, the last time they played a good team, that was close. So I don't know. All right, well, we'll carry back on Iowa. Go ahead, Cozy.
Lock
your whole spiel again.
Iowa actually played very well last year in this game. It's a rivalry game. They're playing for
Floyd of Rosedale or whatever.
This is yes.
That thing rocks.
I think it is the Big Pig.
Yeah.
It's either that or Minnesota, but it's
all the same. They're all ancestral with each other.
Yes, this is the Pig Trophy. No, this is not the Pig Trophy. This is
something else. How is this a 4? This is another sucker play. People see there's times though where I can see these numbers that are outside of football number, and you're begging a team to be taken, like the Penn State one, 21.5. That's please take Northwestern.
Yeah,
I think people will.
yeah, but Wisconsin is just bad.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to throw that out. Wisconsin sucks. They played on that team last year after last game. That stinks. Get them out of here. I think the under is pretty safe too. 37.5.
They are actually playing for the Heartland Trophy. It is a bull they're playing for. So it is a very cool trophy. Iowa wins this game again in a blowout. Not even close. I think Iowa's kind of
they have a pretty big game in a few weeks that they could kill a man. They have a night game and they bring Penn State to town.
Okay, let's talk about that next week. But
Minnesota Purdue is a football game that's going to happen.
Yes, and
my actual lock of the week that I was debating between the two. Okay, I'm with Cozy on this one. I think Minnesota sucks. Purdue plus 7.5 just feels like it's screaming at me.
You love your road Big Ten dogs. I love it.
They love playing good against mediocre. I mean, they've just been playing good football this year. They've scored a lot of points against a lot of teams.
And
one time I think it's going to pull off.
I'm with you. They got something going there.
It's his first
year. They scored a ton against Notre Dame. They scored a ton last week. Like, they're going to get it figured out, I think. And, yeah, I think that's going to be a good one.
By the way, if Minnesota keeps Drake Lindsay, I'm going to say this. They have a 10-2 season coming up if he stays their quarterback. Yes.
They have Darius Taylor back for another year at this point.
I mean, Drake Lindsay he's for a true freshman. He's the real deal. I still don't understand how Arkansas let him leave Fayetteville, Arkansas, and go all the way to Minnesota.
Taylen Green rules, though.
Well,
that could be an easy, like, hey, I'm bringing this guy with me, too. PJ Fleck to Arkansas? That kind of rule.
Maybe.
Kind of like the same program. Probably not, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean.
Frisky, weird team pops up, wins every once in a while.
Yeah.
Ski Ma, Woo Pig Sui, same thing. Something like that.
Do you want to go
first? Adjacent stuff there.
Roll the boat.
You want to go first, Zach, or do you want?
I'll go first.
Oh, okay. Zach's going to start first because Big Noon 15 doesn't start until then.
Yeah.
My buddy, we were at the game last week. Obviously, we were Big Noon. He's like, "Why is there 25 minutes to the game to start? It's 10. It's 11:50." I go, "Buddy, we're on Big Noon 15."
Yep.
It's like noon 13 to 15 every single week, and if you're lucky, it's noon 20 sometimes. This is a big bounce back spot. I think this is a UCLA team that's really at a high. And I think they'll come back down to earth this week, and we should just blow them out. Honestly, we're the better team. I know it, and it shouldn't be close. We should not play to this level.
Oh boy,
yeah, that's the way I see it. I just don't think they're. I just don't think they're good still. And the fact that they had an unbelievable upset, but typically upsets come with a real big failure the week after.
I think Zach's spitting. I think he's spitting. I know I keep flirting with my boy Nico. I probably won't be able to watch this game much. I'll be in Los Angeles, but it's the same logic. Like, think about it. Like, I always say you gotta bet. You gotta look at people. Like, think about how dumb like the average person would be, right? That sees this game, right? Like, think about like a Walmart Wolverine watching this game. Wait, they beat Penn State last week, and then Michigan State looked that shit. And I get 7.5. You're gonna take Michigan State 7.5, and you're gonna plug your damn nose. It's gonna suck, but it's gonna happen, especially if they play their really good quarterback, Milivojevic.
Yeah. So I'll just be real quick. I kind of think Zach's kind of right, and I kind of feel like UCLA threw all their eggs into one basket for 1 week, and we're like,
yeah. They ran everything. They literally ran every single play they could run.
Cinderella's going to turn into a pumpkin in East Lansing.
Yeah, and it's going to get ugly early,
I should tweet at Devin Gardner to say that at the end of the game.
I mean, it could be 21-0 to start this game, Michigan State in the first quarter, and then, yeah, I mean, a blowout from there. The old boy is Zach's very confident, and I would hate to see him have to eat his words if UCLA pulls off two wins in a row.
Can you stop the quarterback run? No?
I mean,
yeah.
You got any linebackers that can spy? You got rid of that white guy with no gloves, right?
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay, I feel confident.
All right,
you had that
on the Cozy's game.
Rivalry game.
Okay, so
would you say rivalry game?
Yes, rivalry game.
Zach, dude, learn ball.
We play for one of the most awesome trophies, the
Illibuck.
It is a big giant turtle, and it used to be a live turtle at one point.
Yeah, it's a huge turtle.
Now it is a wooden turtle. It weighs around 80 pounds, and it is not easy to carry. I have actually lifted it a few times. It's pretty cool.
When's the last time we played this game?
Yeah, when was the last time Illinois had this trophy?
You guys ducked in COVID.
What'd you say?
You guys ducked Lovie Smith in COVID.
Correct. Yes. So we have not played Illinois in 8 seasons. So it's been quite a while since we've seen this. So the Illibuck's up for grabs. Look, I've been to Champaign. It's a pretty cool setup for a stadium. It's probably going to be windy. Basically, they are in an area where there's nothing around them but plains and plains and plains, and it gets very windy. The one time I went there, we played a game that was like 20-10, and it was 2 hours and 32 minutes total. Like literally from kickoff to the end of the game. We were out of there by 2:30.
Hell yeah.
Well, actually, so 1:30 Illinois time. Look, this is a spot where Illinois they're going to be fired up. They want to prove that they belong in the college football playoffs. Bielema will have them fired up. It's just one of those things where it's like, what Illinois team is going to show up? Is it going to be the Illinois team that shows up against Indiana? Is it going to be the Illinois team that shows up against USC? Because if that team shows up, they're going to be in the game.
I don't know if the team even showed up against Indiana.
Yeah. But if it's a team that shows up against Purdue this past week, yeah, we're going to throttle them. Like, there's not going to be ifs, ands, or buts about it. If they give up, I mean, you're giving up points to Purdue like that. Hate to say it, but I mean, yeah, your offense was impressive. Don't get me wrong, but you gave up 453 yards to a Purdue team. I think our offense handles it. I think last week was the first time you could see them be like, okay, Julian, go out there and sling it. Actually sling it. And it was really refreshing. They didn't go conservative game plan. But if we need to, and it's windy, we can go conservative game plan finally, because
it's a Washington game and you blink and the game's over.
Bo Jackson is the man. He is a man out there. I don't want to bash a kid too much, but I would like to see CJ Donaldson not really get as many carries, if that makes sense.
No, I get it.
I don't want to bash him too much. It's one of those things where I think we found our number one running back. It's Bo Jackson, and it should be Bo Jackson moving forward. Donaldson is great, but I think your main back needs to be Bo Jackson. James Peoples is also on that list.
That has to be the explanation why. I remember we were talking about it. Like, I was like, "Are y'all really going with this? That's your running back group? Like, what the hell is going on?"
Yeah,
I guess you guys must have known this kid was good, and you just needed a little bit of time to get up to speed.
Yeah, and that's fine. But the one thing I will say is they gave up 151 yards to Purdue's rushing offense, and Purdue's rushing offense is nowhere near as good as our rushing offense. So if we need to, we can go conservative. If we want to throw the ball and it's not windy, then throw the ball around the field. Here's the thing. It's going to be – we're 14.5-point favorite. Do I think we cover it? Yeah, I kind of feel like we do. I kind of feel like this team is really good on defense, really good on defense. I think we're better than Indiana. The other thing is Illinois is not going to have the same home field advantage they had against USC. So I like the Bucks, maybe about 34-10. I don't know. Someone's going to score a touchdown on us one of these weeks, or score more than 10 points on us one of these weeks.
November, yeah, don't worry. We'll score 13.
34-17 maybe. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah. And then we have
nightcap.
What is it? The Peacock NBC special. Michigan travels out to USC to fight on in the LA Coliseum. Great quote today by Sharon. I'm finally, he's showing a little bit of balls, which I like. He said, yes, the Coliseum is sold out. It's because Michigan's playing. Love that. He said the quiet part out loud. Hopefully he keeps being a fake demon to the point where he might actually learn how to actually have some balls. We'll find out in this game. I know this is the thing that Michigan fans love to do, and it's the easy cop-out, but I actually believe it this time. I firmly think it has to be that we were just looking ahead to USC last week. It's probably my only explanation. I think the Lions did the same thing with the Chiefs coming up this weekend. But, you're going to have your hands full. Michigan's had some problems covering some guys downfield receiver-wise, especially with double moves. We've got some banged-up secondary guys that most of them are coming back, playing a lot of freshmen, a lot of young guys. Malachi Lemon, listen, I don't condone necessarily what happened last year, but if we want to knock him out, hit him with a good clean hit earlier in the game and he's out, I'd make things a lot easier and a lot easier on my heart rate. But he's going to be really freaking good and it's going to be crazy. We'll see how it all turns out. Mayava and that offense is really good. But as we saw against Illinois, I don't want to make it sound this easy, but their run defense sucks. And I think Michigan is going to play like they did against Nebraska. They're going to run it down their throats, throw it when they have to. McCulley and Marsh now, of course, Sharon's like, we think Marsh is actually deserves some more snaps. It's like, dude, he was unreal. 4 catches for 80 yards for Michigan receiver. Might as well be 500 catches for 1,000 yards. And they're starting to show a little bit of life there. One of these games is going to be Bryce's coming out party. I don't think it's this one. I think it's Washington next week. The week after, sorry. Or against somebody else. But the run game has got to be good. We have really good run blocking O-line. Our pass blocking is abysmal. USC's got really good interior guys, so hopefully we can get Haynes to stretch the field a little bit, get some side-to-side action, get the screens going. Maybe Samaj, please give him a visor. Last time he played out in LA, he had 2 fumbles in the Rose Bowl, and it made me almost die. So I think we're the better team. I think the wrong team's favored. I am surprised it's not like a pure pick 'em. It might be, I think, at the end. But I'm fascinated for this game. I'm going to be in attendance. If I go to 0-2, that'll be worrying. But this is like your litmus test for the season, because there's a lot of very lazy narratives out there that Biff is a better coach than Sharon, blah, 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 blah. I do understand why people say it, because just if you're a casual fan looking at it, you're like, what the hell's going on? Why is Bryce awesome now and now he sucks again? Again, I think they were holding it all back for this game because this is pretty much your season. Washington, you get a great time slot, them at noon next week. You got Michigan State, Purdue, Maryland, and Northwestern before Ohio State. You win this game, you're in the playoff. It's that simple. So this is an extension of a playoff game. And as much as I don't like Sharon at times, he's a big game coach. He gets up for these big games, except Oklahoma. And he gets them really close and fights hard. So I expect a good effort. I think this is going to be a sick game to watch. I hope it's as fun as the game they had against Penn State last year was, where a ranked team came in and was a slight. Actually, they were favored, but you know what I mean. I just hope it's a fun game. I think I'm not really convinced either way. This is usually how it starts in the week. Is I think we're going to lose, and then by Friday, I'm like we're going to win by 1,000. So this being a Monday when we're recording, I'm pretty timid in terms of the game, but it's going to be an all-time color game, and I'm really excited to see what happens.
Yeah, this all just comes down to one thing alone, and that's one thing for both teams. Can USC stop the run, and can Michigan stop the pass? And I think that this USC offense is at times everything it's said to be, but also at the same time, I think that them traveling last time they played at Illinois, playing a noon game, like all these factors that Blake brings up about teams traveling is a real difference maker. And I think that in the end of the day, that could be the difference between Michigan winning and losing compared to last year where they were the better team and they, squeaked it out with an unbelievable drive at the end. I think that it will come down to can they maintain against the fatigue and everything that comes with playing at the West Coast, and that's the only thing. It's not a weird time slot because it's going to be like 10 o'clock Eastern time.
Playing later probably it's got to be better than playing early. Maybe
I think that for athletes playing, I don't know, because football players I think this is one of the sports where they practice so early in the day that it doesn't really affect them in the morning. You know what I mean? Okay. I think that later in the night, because they're used to going to bed earlier for being an early sport, they're going to be a little bit more fatigued at the end of the day than the beginning. But
I will say
it's hard to tell.
Another thing, I don't know how much this means to anybody, but Jim Harbaugh will be at practice and helping Michigan prepare for USC in person on Friday against the Chargers. So we'll see. That I'm sure that'll give a boost to some of the kids on the team, and maybe takes a little bit of game planning on us for own fans. But that's just something I'd add. I might be in attendance at that practice, which would be pretty cool. But
I don't really got much to say about it. I think it's going to be a good game. So.
Quickly for me, I know we gotta touch one or two games quickly here before we hop out because we're touching an hour and a half almost. If you have a game you want to talk about, go for it. I have one I want to talk about. That's it. I don't give a damn about that Red River nonsense. The best running back in the country plays with the best Penn State quarterback in the country in Missouri. They're going to upset Alabama and throw the SEC into total chaos. Ahmad Hardy is an absolute animal. He's out of, I believe, South Alabama. Or no, he's UL Monroe. I believe he was the kid that went to UL Monroe as a 5-star and was like, I'm going to go here for a year, then transfer and be the best running back of the country. He's basically done that. He's an absolute demon. He's incredible to watch. Between that and some playmakers on the outside and Bo with some RPOs and some read options, they control the game on the ground, a lot of possession. It's going to be a hell of a football game. And if I can somehow watch that game in a bar somewhere, that'll be very nice.
Well, I can tell you this. Me and you are on the opposite sides this week in big games and ranked games because Bama rolls and Missouri once again is just left sitting there going.
Future Penn State coach Eli Drinkowitz, then? You don't think he's going to win a big game?
No. I think it's going to be
Penn State.
I think Ty Simpson has found the right formula now. I think Bama has it rolling. I think that they win this game. I think it's a similar game to last week's game against Vandy, where it's like very close at halftime. And then the second half, Alabama's defense steps up. They shut down the run game. And Simpson just does what he does. And he's not flashy. He's not anything like that. But the main thing is what he does well is he just knows how to put the ball. How do I put this? He's puts it in the right. Yes, correct. There you go.
Just like kind of like guys that you look at them and it's like, ugh. But like they just throw darts, lasers, show up. And they got a little bit of Drake May to him, honestly, where it's just like tall, white, poised, just super accurate, can run every once in a while and just do exactly what their coaches want him to, and it's perfect.
Yeah. And I mean, look, you can go back to that Florida State game, and he looked terrible in the Florida State game. But since then, he has it going. Things are working well. He did throw his first pick against Vandy. I think he'll be perfect in this game. I'm looking at a stat line, probably like 24, 23 completions. Right now, his high on the season is 24 completions. I think he's going to be like 22 for 25 for like 320 yards. No problem. Bama wins.
Yeah. With that game, it's I don't know. Is that game day? Have they announced where game day is going?
No, game day is Indiana, Oregon. Yeah.
That's fun. Imagine thinking that was going to be a conference game and game day that long time.
Yes.
But I know Josh Pate is going to the Mizzou game.
There is one upset that I have. It is a kind of a fun upset, I guess you would say. They've been close in this game. They've also played two very, very close games. Auburn beats Georgia in the Deep South rivalry.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
What do they call that one? The oldest rivalry?
The oldest rivalry in the Deep South. Yes.
3-point
oldest
spread.
rivalry. Yeah.
There's some games this week that can cause a lot of friggin' problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You go back and look at Auburn's losses. The first two conference losses this year, they should have won both games. And by the way, if the officiating didn't screw up against Oklahoma, they would have won.
I believe they gave up 18 sacks in 2 games and lost by 1 score in each game.
They did. So if you fix that,
Georgia's got a good D line or anything.
But if you fix that,
I mean, look at these lines: Auburn plus 3.5, Arizona plus 1 against BYU, Utah 6.5 against Arizona State. Wow.
You got some.
Colorado a 2-point dog at home against Iowa State.
This night slate could turn into a barn burner of an evening.
Yeah,
but
Texas somehow still favored the Red River.
Yes.
Somebody actually had a really funny thing. I was talking to one of the Oklahoma fans at the game. They go, "Man, it's bullshit. We play that game in their state every year." And I'm like, it's actually not a bad point.
Yeah. I mean, they do. It is 50-50, though, down the middle. And both campuses are exactly the same amount of distance from Dallas. So
I do have an upset pick.
Okay.
To be clear, it's spread. If you're watching Family, turn it off. There's a man that loves him, some hot chicks and some Harley Davidsons. He's back in college football. If you don't think Bobby Petrino is going to open the kitchen sink on the road in Neyland,
there's no way. They are going
12 and a half, over under 69.
They beat them last year. This is blowout.
They beat them in a dogfight last year. It was like 13-10. This is going to be like 45-38. That's all I need. Just keep it close and a lot of points. Talon Green, Heisman adjacent game. Not a Heisman game, obviously not winning it, but this is a thing where you're going to be like, wait, this kid's unreal. He's not going to be an NFL guy, but God damn it, is he a good college quarterback. They would love him at Boise right now.
Okay. I don't got really anything else.
I'm good. You got anything, Zach, or no?
Yeah. The oversitting, okay? I've been saying it since the beginning of the year. The oversitting. Okay. Nope. Not a game. A season win total. Ooh. The Kent State Golden Flashes are beating UMass and hitting the over 1.5 win season total and completing the comeback of the century from going 1 win to 0 wins to 2 wins.
Favorite.
It's happening. It's happening. They're 1-point favorites. It's happening.
I don't like to tell
them. They're not the worst team in football anymore.
This is a crime. This isn't a Tuesday night game. It is a crime against humanity. A Tuesday night, and if you did it later in the year, it could have been like a 1-9 versus an 0-10 UMass. That game would have ruled.
Yep.
I know Barstool, I don't know if they can do it this year now because they're partnered with Fox, but last year they did the double back-to-back MAC college football shows at MAC campuses last year, which was sick. Oh, God, imagine a Kent State UMass game. Oh, my God.
That would be the worst game ever, but the best game ever.
Oh, geez. There's some bad games that week, dude. Northern Illinois, Eastern Michigan, UMass, Kent State. God damn. My Bulls have the week off. They won again last week, but the MAC will still be theirs. All right. That's it. Thank you guys all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see what happens coming up this week. Peace.
Yep. Go Bucks.